Well, when I was growing up, my dad was in a country band, and he had a home studio, and I would always hear them practicing and doing a lot of cover songs, and just sort of, saw him going to shows. I wasn't really involved that much, but when the studio was empty, I would sort of sneak in there and record songs, and I started writing songs at a really young age, and never really stopped. And it wasn't something that I thought could be a viable option for my own life, I guess. I didn't really think of myself as a performer or someone that could do that professionally, but eventually, my friends would hear my songs just when we were at home or whatever, and they kept encouraging me to take it seriously and actually perform. And so it still took a few years for me to become comfortable enough to take it seriously and really pursue it, but eventually I did. I think for many artists it takes a while, and it takes a lot of experimentation to really figure out what your own voice or your own vision is. There's a sort of refining process that has to happen, and I really wasn't happy with the music I was making for a lot of years, my early 20s, and there's a lot of sort of breakup songs and singer-songwriter typical, I really wasn't happy with it. I just knew I wanted to be making music, so I kept doing it and kept trying. And then eventually in around 2008, I just sort of stepped back and stopped for a while, and I was like, I'm not going to listen to music, I'm not going to play music, I'm not going to try and write music, I'm just going to, let it go for a while because I'm not happy. And then about a year later, my friend who's a performance artist invited me to go on this tour with them as their resident musician and just do mini performances, acoustic performances at the end of the night. And it took us to a lot of strange venues and cool art galleries and basements and, factories and really great places where I could sort of experiment with my own voice and hear how it sounds in these different locations. And, especially in front of an audience who's sort of willing to see whatever because they came to see performance artists, and those, performance art is very different and very, there's a wide variety, so people are usually pretty open when they come to see it. I started working with the record label Sargent House earlier this year, and the woman who runs it, Kathy, suggested that I sort of put together this, collection of songs that I had written over the years and done demo recordings of or played live, but never actually put onto an album because those were her favorite songs. You know, they're just sort of on YouTube or whatever, but I'd never really released them. And so yeah, I started gathering those songs together and ended up writing some new songs for the record as well. And it came together in that way, just a lot of orphan songs finding a home together. Playing this kind of music live is definitely more of a challenge, and it's scary and it's intimate, and you know, playing with the full band and playing rock and roll music is, you know, there's a lot more like just wildness that you can kind of get lost in, and this is a much more calm, intimate experience. But there's also like a lot of like frantic emotional energy going around too, so it's pretty intense.
Boyfriend, be